Okay, we are live. Good to see everybody. It is Andrew back again with another live stream here, Saturday, April 15th, 2023. It is now 10:02 a.m. Pacific time here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Good to see everybody. A little bit of a different time today. A lot of stuff has come into the studio, so we're going to start ramping things up here. So expect a lot of content from me over the next couple of weeks. So a lot of stuff coming in, and I want to get these out the door. In other words, get them in, let's get them unboxed, let's get the review process underway. But we got 35 of you already. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up. Let's get this spread out over YouTube. In addition to, of course, streaming on YouTube, I'm also simultaneously streaming on Twitter. So hello to everybody on Twitter. Hopefully there are people watching. And as far as what we have here today, we have the Lenovo Yoga, some places outside North America, Yoga. Here in North America, Slim Pro 7. Now, this has an AMD Ryzen 7000 series processor. We'll get the specs in a moment. It's got a 14.5-inch display. It's got 90 hertz in terms of the refresh rate. I believe this is an IPS display. And it also has a discrete GPU, the RTX 3050. So we'll get to the specs in a moment. We're going to get it out of the box. But before we do that, let's say hello to the regulars here and also whoever's here. It's, of course, William Cohen here. Good to see you. Thank you for letting the people know to smash that like button. And, of course, don't forget to make sure you are subscribed. And speaking of which, I wanted to thank everybody as the channel reached the 140,000 subscriber milestone yesterday. So I want to just thank everybody for supporting the channel. And of course, without you, I couldn't be doing this. So amazing accomplishment. I've said this many times before. I'm still pinching myself that this is even a reality, that we're able to grow the channel from 0 to now 140,000 of you. So I just want to thank you so much. We're approaching 34 million views on the channel, total views. So very, very good stuff. I know, just again, from the bottom of my heart, I just don't know how else to say it. I want to thank you. Couldn't do it without you, that's for sure. So again, 140,000 sounds amazing to me. So again, very, very much thanks to all of you. Now, as far as the unit itself here, let's get to the specs here. And let me turn off the music. We've got the Slim Pro 7 or the Slim Yoga Pro or the Yoga Pro 7. I don't know. The namings get very confusing. Again, outside the United States, they're going to go with the Yoga line. Here in the United States, North America, they're going with the Slim line. Okay, you take it for what it's worth. Doesn't mean it's convertible, doesn't mean anything anymore, just a matter of which region you're in. Now, as far as the specs, we're looking at a really nice specs here. And again, we're looking at, let me go back a little bit on this. We're going to look at a 14.5 inch, 2.5K display, 16:10 aspect ratio, multi-touch display, 350 nits as far as that's concerned. Now, 90 hertz refresh rate, love to see high refresh rate, so pretty good. And then, of course, we're looking at the, we'll go back one more time here. Ryzen 7, we can pause it here for a moment. Ryzen 7 7735HS. So that should be pretty interesting. And GeForce RTX 3050 GPU, 73 watt hour battery. So 1.59 kilograms, 3.5 pounds here. Of course, if you're using pounds, of course. And then, of course, Full HD Plus, or Full HD, I should say, IR camera with e-shutter. So that's going to be great for those who want security. Now, as far as where you can buy it, I left a link in the description below at Best Buy. It is of course, an affiliate link. I do get a small commission if you choose to buy from Best Buy, but I've worked with Best Buy and I like working with them. And it's a good price, I think, for what you're getting, $1,199.99. So this means that we're looking at $1,200. And I think the specs are looking pretty good. Of course, the proof is always in the numbers. And of course, we'll see how it is in real world usage. It's a 14.5 inch IPS display. Okay, so there you have it. Those are the specs. All right, so we have, let's see how many of you are watching, about 50 of you. So without further ado, but before we do that, I just want to say hello to a few more people. Just get a few more people here. Good to see. Hi to Matez. Stefan is here. Good evening. Hello to Ahmed from Egypt. How are you? Guillermo, of course, from France. Let's see. Mario is here. Christopher is here. Hello. Good luck. Dominique is here. The graphics card RTX 3050. And again, we have Kingsley here. You like the time. Supreet once again. How are you, my friend? Surpreet, I should say. William, and of course, those are here. Carl is here. Good to see you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Aspect ratio 16:10. AMD processor, Silva, yes. USB 4, which gives you a lot of the Thunderbolt, obviously, functionality. We'll talk more about that in the upcoming review. All right. So without further ado, let's take this off let's go to this camera and let's get this out of the box, and then let me take off the graphic and let's just get right to it. All right. What do you say? All right. Here we go. Close the knife. All right, so we're going to take a look at the charger here. Get your power cord. Okay, so we have a 140 watt power charger. You can see it here as it comes into focus. Not too bad, a nice wattage here. Again, it has a discrete GPU, the 3050, and this has a USB Type-C plug. So looking good there. And again, you get your standard power cord, and good to see that it is a US plug. I can confirm that, unlike what we got with the Asus the other day. All right, so let's get this packaging. It actually looks pretty good. Let's open this up. Okay, and you get the unit itself. Now this is going to be the storm gray finish. Let's get some documentation here and some warranty information. I think that's about it. So pretty standard stuff. And here it is. So this is a pretty nice looking device. We've seen it before, very, very understated, but very, very nice looking. As you can see here, it is a beautiful design to me. I like the sort of rounded corners here. Pretty nice and thin. It's an all metal design. It's aluminum or aluminum, and it looks pretty good. So you can see it here. Let's see if we can open it with one finger. We certainly can. Get some more documentation. And before we do that, let's take a look at this, which tells you over here, if I can get it right, you've got the smart key. Function M enables or disables the touchpad. Switches among the different performances is function plus Q. Function R switches the refresh rate. Of course, this can go up to 90 hertz. And then, of course, function and the spacebar turns on and controls the keyboard backlight. Okay, and here you can see the keyboard. And I always like these keys. They are smile-shaped keys. Looks good, looks good. 86% already charged, so I think they've already set it up for me. Hopefully we don't have to go through the whole setup process. Pretty nice. You're looking at AMD Ryzen 7000 sticker there, AMD Radeon graphics, in addition to having, of course, the RTX 3050. So you can see it here. This is a really nice design. You got two speaker grills over here. It's got Dolby Atmos. What more can you say? I mean, it's looking good so far. And again, it's a pretty heavy, not light, I shouldn't say. It's not that heavy, but it's not that light either. Again, it has a discrete GPU. We're looking at, I think, 1.5 pounds or so. If I go ahead here, we can see the exact weight. It is going to be 1.59 kilograms or 3.5 pounds. So there you have it. All right, so looking pretty good. Let's take a look at the ports. We're going to start off on the left side here. And if it can come into focus, okay. So we have an HDMI port, always good to see that. Two USB Type-C ports, okay. And I believe one of these is going to be USB 4. So that means you're going to get a lot of the functionality you're going to get with the Thunderbolt that you'd get on an Intel-based computer, of course. And then, of course, if I can get that into focus here, you've got a USB-A port, headphone jack, and a power button here, of course. And then you have a kill switch for the webcam. Love to see that, actually. So that's pretty good. And if we go here, you actually can see it a little bit better. And there it is. Again, USB-A 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, power button, and then, of course, the kill switch. I get a little bit of a closer look here. We can go right here, and you can see the HDMI, the two USB-C, one of them USB 4. Okay, so there you have the ports on this unit. And then if you want to get a good look here at the keyboard, there it is. And I like, again, good key travel looking so far. Touchpad seems okay. It's a diving board style. It's not haptic or anything. So that looks pretty good. USB 4, Mattez, is going to give you, I think, 40 gigabits per second in terms of the output. It also allows you to connect to multiple 4K monitors. It allows you to have a lot of options when it comes to docks and so forth. So a lot of versatility. External GPUs will work with it, supposedly. So we'll see. We'll see. Are these ports decent enough? I think so, Ahmed. I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. All right, so let me plug it in to my Thunderbolt dock, actually. I'm going to see which one it is. I think it's the second one is USB. I think it's this one, the first one or the second one. I don't remember. We'll figure it out. But there it is plugged in. And let's turn it on. So let's find the power button on the side here. Okay, it should be booting up now. No SD card, William. No SD card, which is a little bit of a shame. You'll have to use a dongle. And that's because I guess they want to save space is my guess. Again, thin and light. The connected adapter, I may have to use the original adapter here. Yeah, so I'm going to have to use the original adapter. Give me a second. Let me get that set up and I'll be right back. Let me focus on here. All right, let me get this plugged in. Okay, there we go. Original plug-in. Thank you for your patience, of course. And let's turn it on. Okay, there we go. So it likes to see the original plug the first time, I guess. Hope everybody's enjoying themselves. What is this? Kambanda Samil, loving it from Africa. Okay. So it does have Windows Hello, for those wondering. Let me bump up the brightness here. So 350 nits, you can see the glossy display. It is a touch display. So it is a touch display. You can see it there. It's a nice display. Actually, you can see it there. Very, very nice. And you can see it from this angle. Let me turn this around. Get a little bit more slack there. And then, of course, you can see it there. Pretty nice display, I got to tell you. Again, very glossy. I do have a lot of lights here. So I think I'm using the USB 4. I think this is the first one or the second one. I got to double check the diagram. But you can see the storm gray finish on it. It's pretty nice. You can see that it has, again, the speakers and the Dolby Atmos speakers. You have the smile-shaped keys here. You can see it here a little bit better. All right, so let's get me connected to the Wi-Fi. Let me put it on myself for a moment. And let me get all set up onto the network here. Okay, so this is connected to my network. Let me connect it to my dock now. Now that it's already booted up. Yeah, so now it's connected, all right? And let me, yeah, there it is. You can see it here. All right, so let me load in a couple of benchmarks real quick. But before we do that, let me go to the system settings here, or the system specs, just to give you an idea of what we're looking at here. Again, AMD Ryzen 7 7735HS, 16 gigabytes of RAM. I believe the RAM is soldered in, so you cannot upgrade that. And you also have, and there's McAfee. Hello, John. Good to see you. So that is with the RAM. And then I think it has 512 in terms of the SSD. And let's, actually, you know what? Let's go to the device manager here. And it is using a Hynix 512 gigabyte SSD. You can see it right there. Okay. And the other thing I want to check is the NVIDIA graphics. So let's go to the NVIDIA Control Center here. Put myself down there. And Don't know battery life yet. Again, I just took it out of the box. There's no way for me to know something like that until I do my testing, of course. I'll use the PC Mark 10 Modern Office battery life. And here you can see the wattage, 63 watts. It's a 3050 GPU. Maximum graphics power, 63 watts. And that is, I'm not expecting it to be a graphics powerhouse, but it's definitely going to be better than integrated solution, of course. Having that will certainly help with video editing and the like. So definitely good. Does it have advanced Optimus? It does not, according to this. So for those wondering that, but again, it does have 63 watts. All right, so let's load in a couple of benchmarks here. Go to my my drive that I just loaded in here, and let's just select these. And let me put them into the downloads folder. We'll do a Geekbench real quick. Hopefully it will be okay. Because we've had a couple of issues the last few times. So in fact, let me get the Edge set up here so it will not give us any issues. Let me go to Geekbench. Let's see if we get the most recent one. Let's download it. And let's go here, download the Geekbench. Let's download for Windows. Is the SSD upgradable? Yes, you should be able to upgrade the SSD. That's always good. We like to see that. Question from Meat Puppet. Good to see you. Have you tested the speakers yet? No, not yet. We just took it out of the box, but I will test them at least maybe tonight or maybe today or maybe even in the review. Obviously, I will. Can't wait for your temperature result. Yeah, I'm going to have to put it through its paces and measure the surface temperatures as well as the fan noise, as well as how hot it gets internally, of course. So we'll have to see how that's all going to play out. Let's get the Geekbench set up here. Let's put it into performance mode. And we're on best performance already. And then say yes. And I think with this, of course, if we use the Lenovo Vantage app, we can also switch from the function Q, right? So function Q is right now on the quiet mode, or the cool mode rather, advanced mode. And that looks like, I'm sorry, this is the performance mode. So we're on the performance mode. We've switched it in Windows as well. So let's minimize that. Let's go to the setup here, agree. Let's install Geekbench 6 and let's get a first out of the box result, and of course, take it with a grain of salt because I didn't update any drivers. I didn't do any BIOS updates, if any. So again, a lot of things have to install in the background. So it's going to take away maybe from a little bit of the result. I'll get the full result and the final result in the upcoming videos. So stay tuned for that. Let's do the CPU. Hopefully we won't have any issues with Geekbench 6. It has been giving us a few issues lately, as you know. Not limited to this brand, of course, but we had it with the XPS 159530 from Dell. How's the RX 6850M XT 12 gigs for content creation? Gamer boy, I'm sure it'll be fine, but we're talking about this one. Yeah, the first time on your live stream. Love you, Andrew Market. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Very, very nice compliment. I appreciate that. Do you know what is the battery life? Again, Alexander, we'll find out once we do some testing. We just took it out of the box. I wish it came with OLED. So the benefit of OLED, of course, is going to get the really deep blacks, the super vibrant colors. I can tell you right away, looking at this right now, it's a very nice IPS display. It's very glossy in terms of my studio light, so you will notice that glare. But in real world usage, you'll be fine. Obviously, the screen goes as far back as you see here, so you'll be able to get a good viewing angle. Little screen wobble, not too bad. I think the hinges are okay. So far, it's looking okay. So pretty good. I hear the fan noise a little bit right now as it is ramping up on this benchmark. So here you can see without the too much glare in that angle. And so far, looking pretty good. You've got the reverse notch on the top. You have an IR camera. We'll take a look at that full HD camera in a moment. Again, no OLED on this one. We did look at the Asus, the ZenBook 14X OLED. And by the way, for those wondering about that, doing very well, the video. But I have, according to Asus, sending me as a review unit, of course, the 14X OLED, but with a discrete GPU option. And I believe it also has 32 gigabytes of RAM. I don't quote me on the exact thing about the GPU. I think it does have it. That's supposedly coming next week. Again, I don't have an exact firm date, but I was told it was coming next week, so I take them for their word. And so we'll see what the difference between a $799 with the one with the 8 gigs, which I think is, if most people, you're going to be fine. I know 8 gigs is not a lot, and especially since you can't upgrade the RAM, but I think with more RAM options in this other one, you're going to pay more money. There's no question. But those who need it, you'll have the option. We'll talk about that more next week. And here you can see it's running the CPU benchmark. And again, hopefully Geekbench 6 will cooperate. All right. Now, Vaporizer Bobby, how are you, my friend? Anyone who's considering a laptop with a true Ryzen 7, this ain't it. No, right. So we will have to wait until at least the summer or autumn. Laptops with the 7X, 4X are true Ryzen Phoenix laptops. Anything else is rebranded. So it's a rebranded 6000, which will be fine. Listen, we had good results out of that, and I'm sure this is going to be fine for what you needed to do. Again, $1,200. Discrete GPU, nice display, 90 hertz refresh rate. You can't go wrong. Look, it's updating something in the back, so it went black for a moment. Let me put it on me for here. Yeah, see, it's doing things in the background, so that's why we probably should wait a little bit before we run some of these benchmarks, but, you know, I have no patience. So we go, what the hell? Again, just take everything with a grain of salt. And this goddamn McAfee keeps coming up, and that is really effing annoying. You know how much I hate that. All right. So did we get our result? Probably we did. I think we did. Yes. All right. So 8952 and 1895. So 8952 is going to be the multi-core and 1895 is single core. These are very good results as far as an AMD processor. Again, not the true 7000, but it is something that you have. Where is the print screen button here? Okay. There we go. All right, so I took my screenshot. Let's test out the RTX 3050 graphics real quick while we're here. It's not, Meat Puppet, is it misleading? I don't know. I think they have the way they do their naming on these things. I think they tweaked it a bit, I guess. I don't know. You'll have to talk to AMD. But is it a good laptop? I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. Is it the Phoenix? No, it's not. It's not. So, but is it misleading? I don't know. You know, you have to talk to the brands about that. Could be, but we'll see. I mean, Apple does these kind of things. You know, it's just rebranding the same architecture, but rebranding, but for the naming, I guess. But we'll see. I mean, what do you think? Let me know in the comment section or in the chat, of course. But if you're watching on a replay, let me know in the comment section below. Gamer Boy's got I'm getting the Legion 7 AMD Radeon Ryzen 9 6900 HX. By the way, I have updated versions of those here for this year, 2023, on the Legion Pro line. So stay tuned. I will have stuff on that this week. So for those wondering. So very good, Gamer Boy. I'm glad you got that. It's amazing that when you just take these units out of the box, the viewers expect you to know all the test results immediately. Yes, I have to know all the battery life as soon as I take it out of the box. I would be pretty amazing if I could test the battery life. I would have superpowers to be able to do that. I will let everybody know. Rest assured, you'll get my PC Mark 10 result for the Modern Office battery life test, which I think is a nice standardized test. I'll test the video playback test as well, gaming test, and a Microsoft Office test. So you'll have 4 tests to really choose to base your opinions on it, of course. So stay tuned. That's all coming. OLED is grainy, and when full white documents opened, inaccurate white color in OLEDs. Thirdly, you have to worry about OLED burn-in after 2-3 years. Overall, OLED disadvantageous. So I like OLED. I don't have some of those issues you've mentioned, but again, people may experience it. They've gotten better with these OLED displays, but there is something to be said about IPS. This one has a 90 hertz refresh rate as well. It has pretty good brightness here. I believe it's an HDR display as well, if I'm not mistaken, but I will have to double check that. I believe it is Dolby Vision. And I believe this is also a very good touchscreen. You see, it's pretty responsive here when I do use my finger to interact with the display. So my streaming is breaking up. Okay. Let me see. Looks like my bandwidth is decent, not great. I have Cox internet here, so hopefully it's not going to be too bad. Looks like it's okay now. Okay, so we're having some streaming issues. Okay, I'm also doing this on Twitter, so if you're having some issues, go to Twitter. Looks like it's okay now. Although it's starting to break up a little bit. Oh, I hate when this happens. So we're having some issues. We may have to restart the stream. I don't know.